Hey everyone, welcome back. We are going to talk about doing your research in the intake process of wanting to join an organization. I've brought this up a couple of times. First of all, let me go ahead and say excuse Jax. He's playing house patrol right now and I have the door open, but just ignore him. Doing your research is very important because it is part of the intake interest process. You have to know why you want to join an organization. And you need to know why you want to join the particular organization that you're interested in pursuing. So doing your research is more than just knowing about the organization that you want to join. It's about knowing why you want to be a part of a organization in general. I've received so many responses about why people want to join an organization, and the most common one has been, to be a part of something greater than myself or join like-minded people. Let's be honest, you can do that with any organization. It could be a church, it could be a dance group, it can be anything. Why do you want to join a Divine Nine organization of all things? So it's important to be able to answer this question. And some people are like, I don't know how to answer this question. That's okay. You're not expected to know right off the bat why you want to join an organization. Sometimes when people want to join an organization, it's due to them already being exposed to it prior. So when they're exposed to something and that's all that they see and that's all that they know, especially talking about if you're a legacy, and no slight to legacies, I'm just using them as an example. Even if you're not a legacy, say you're in school and you have teachers that are always wearing their colors or always wearing their letters, and that's all that you see, you're always surrounded by that, you don't think of other options because you see what you see at face value and you think that that's great and that's something for you. In some cases, that may be what's right for you, but in most cases, it is important to do your research to confirm that that's right for you. So, understanding why you want to join an organization. I think that it's important to know what your personal values are, and I've said this from day one of starting my channel and just why people should do research in general. It's very important to understand why you want to join something before you join it, because it's a lifetime commitment for these Divine Nine organizations for the most part. So it's not just a 4-year thing, it's not just a 2-year thing, 1-year thing, one and done. It's a lifetime commitment. So if you want to join an organization, why do you want to be a part of that organization for the rest of your life? And for me, I've been in my organization going on 12, 13 years. I think it'll be 13 years this year. And I haven't stopped. I may have taken off 1 year when I was pursuing law school because that was its own commitment. But aside from being fully financial and making sure that you are being active, I was active for 12 years and will continue to be active. So knowing why you want to join an organization, why do you want to be a part of something like that for such a long time, you have to have reasons behind it and you have to love it. I've been very open about why, or just sorority life in general. I feel like I've been very open in terms of showing you guys what it is like and the commitment. I haven't shown you how we run chapter meetings because I can't show you that stuff, but I can show you the behind the scenes of what the expectations are when you want to join an organization. And if I'm being totally honest, it is a commitment. It is something that you have to want to do, and it has to be something that you love, because otherwise you're going to get tired of it and then you're going to lose interest, and then you're going to be like, why did I spend all this money? Why did I do all of this in the first place? Can you, you're taking my spotlight away from me. So understanding that is very important. For those of you who don't know how to figure out your reasoning why, just kind of take a moment to yourself and kind of do the math, do that internal, what you call it, soul searching, as they say, where you're sitting down to understand the reason why. So figuring out why you want to join an organization is important. What I tell people when they are trying to figure it out is to go ahead and write down what your personal values are. So before you even get into the looking up the organization that you want to join portion of your research, write down what your values are. What are some initiatives that you enjoy participating in? What are community service events that you enjoy doing? Like if St. Jude's is your jam, write down making donations to St. Jude's. If prenatal care is important to you, write that down. If community service, nothing but community service, it doesn't matter if that's your thing, write it down. Just write down the things that are important to you as well as what your values are. Do you value education? Do you value financial literacy? Do you value just family time? Make sure that you write all those things down, and then once you've written those things down, research. Go to each organization's website to do research on what their individual mission statements are. So if you're interested in fraternities, go to every fraternity. If you're interested in sororities, go to every sorority. And the reason why I want you to do this is you may surprise yourself. When you do research on all organizations, you may walk in thinking that you belong to one organization when in fact your values align with another. And this is very shocking for people who are considered legacies, because you know, you've been exposed to something for so long, you think that that's what you're interested in, and then turns out you do your research and you're actually interested in this other organization. It's shocking, it's scary, but it does happen sometimes. And if it does happen, there's nothing wrong with it. I think it's worth pursuing what is most important to you rather than what's traditionally done. And I do have some videos on my channel about legacies and that whole situation, so make sure you check that out. But it's shocking sometimes to realize that something that you think is for you may not in fact be for you. You may be aligned with something else. So if that happens to you, I think that it's good to dig even deeper in understanding why those things are. Another thing that I think is also helpful if you're in that particular situation, but just in general, is talking to people that are a part of those organizations. So I'm always open to having a conversation as to why I joined my organization. I have several videos on it, but if you're not, like, you don't know me like that, you can always go to someone that is a part of the organization that you're comfortable with talking to. And this may be more difficult to do than easier said than done, as they say, because some people readily have access to people or some people do not. That's where building relationships comes in though. So if you don't know how to build relationships, make sure you check out my channel on that. But talking to people who are in an organization I think is a great resource as well, because you get the inside scoop for the most part. You get their individual perspectives on why they joined a particular organization and what their thoughts are on it, however candid or sugar-coated as it may be. But I just think that's also a great resource in addition to researching the websites, going and talking to people. Getting to know the chapter members is equally important to knowing things about the organization itself, because the chapter members are the people that you're going to be interacting with once you join. And this is important on the on the undergraduate and graduate level, because in undergrad, essentially, those are the people that you're going to be with until you graduate. In grad chapter, unless you move, those are the people that you're going to be with until you move or pass away, things like that. So it's important to know the people in the chapter of the organization that you want to join, because those are the people that you are going to be working with from then on. So doing your research is very important. Common questions that I would get in regards to doing your research is, well, what if I don't know anyone and I want to learn more about the organization? There's nothing wrong with sending an inquiry, and inquiries can be different forms and formats. If you know someone, you can always call them up, text them. If you don't know them personally, you can always shoot an email. If you don't know anyone in particular, you can email the chapter in itself. And in an inquiry, it is what it is. You are inquiring for more information. And this is where it gets sticky, because some people don't know how to ask the question. And essentially what you're asking is for more information. You're not expressing interest. You're not telling them how much you love the organization. You're not telling them how much you enjoyed being at the latest chapter event. It's just a simple, hello, my name is so-and-so. I am emailing to inquire about such and such organization, such and such chapter. And that's a good kind of starting point. And you have to be mindful of the time of year as well. Check out my videos on etiquette when reaching out to organizations, because depending on the time of year, wow, you're really like taking on the scene, aren't you? Depending on the time of year, some organizations are not likely to respond as quickly as you'd like them to. Like if it's at the beginning of the year, you're probably not going to hear anything until mid-January, because it's the beginning of the year. People are restarting, getting themselves back together. If it's the end of the year, same thing. Things are being wrapped up, or not likely to answer emails once offices close down and things like that. So check out my video on etiquette so you can learn a little bit more about that. But those are just my thoughts in terms of how to kind of navigate that portion of doing your research. Those are basically my thoughts. I think it's helpful to understand what doing your research actually is before you get started. So if you found this video helpful, give me a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys in our next episode.